Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Moeller, and I'm with Legal Graphic Works. And I wanted to show you a couple of things that you can do to improve upon your PowerPoint presentations or other elements and graphics that we can incorporate in your PowerPoint just to make it a little bit stronger. A lot of these graphics have to do with construction cases. So that's just sort of the background on what we're looking at here. The first thing we can do is create interactivity within your PowerPoint, which is really great and gives you a lot of control. This was the construction of a house, and we created this presentation for a mediation for the attorneys. And here you have a regular timeline, but what's nice about this is that each event pops up one at a time, so it can pop up as you're discussing it, which allows you to control the receipt of information. And it's nice because the timeline isn't already built and people can easily follow along with you. And then here we have a couple of pictures of the house, which you can click on as well. And then this is the great part. Here you have the plans of the house, and you can scroll over the different areas and click on them in any order that you wish, and you'll go directly to that area of the house, and you can see all of the pictures that were relevant to that area. You can do this on a separate slide, as we've done here, or you can even do a pop-out if you wish of the pictures and click through them with the house background remaining. We also summarize the damages here in the corner, which is also a really nice touch. And then you can go directly to, a different section of the house in whatever order you choose. And again, click through the pictures in whatever order that you wish to click through them. Here, you just go easily right back to your plans of the house. And then when you want to move on to the next section, you can click here and you'll have your damages model. And this is just a nice way to summarize all of the damages and do it as a build too, so that you create it at the very end. The next thing we wanted to be able to point out to you are some other graphics that are done as timelines. And these are done that can be interactive and also have your call out as the date pops up in your build. So here you have your first date, and then you have the document that's relevant to that date popping up, which is nice. You can do this throughout the timeline if you wish. And as the document pops up, you can see that the background of the timeline gets a little bit grayer so that the emphasis is on the document and the call out from the document. This is just one way to do it, and it allows people to keep themselves oriented with the events on the timeline, which is something that can be really, really helpful if that's one of your goals that you have in mind as you're creating this timeline. And again, it's great because it can be done as a build, so you can control the receipt of information too. And then the next timeline we're going to move on to is one that is already built. So here in 1 second, you have this timeline. And what's great about this one is you can click on the date and the relevant document pops up. And then you click on this button in the bottom and you can go right back to your timeline. And you can do this in any particular order. You can also turn on and off certain portions of it. So if you want to talk about one particular subcontractor or events relevant to a certain date, you can do that really easily right here. And then you go right back to the main presentation. And here are some graphics that are done as a build. And I like these, similar to the timelines that we saw earlier. You can use the same graphic and just allow it to work for you to tell your story, to help you with your argument. In this case, they were talking about weather delays, and we wanted to put the events on a calendar timeline. It just helps you see the passage of time in a little bit different way than you would on a linear timeline, which is nice. And then here, as you know, change orders, contract issues come up a lot. So we wanted to have the original contract, what the item was that you were contracting for, how that item was changed, the date of the change, and how that affected the price. And again, this is done as a build so that you can see everything at the same time and also allow it to unfold as you're telling your story, sort of in a different layered fashion. And then at the very end, you have everything created for you and it's all summarized right there. The next thing I wanted to point out, which a lot of people don't realize you can do, is include 2D animation within your PowerPoint. And this is just a really, really nice thing to do to allow the PowerPoint to support what it is you're saying and what, possibly your witness is talking about if it's your expert. So it's not just bullet point. It really is used to create a visual for the testimony. And in this case, it was a road construction case. And one of the main issues they talked about was drainage. And it was really important to be able to show the flow of water and how that would flow, and also how that would affect cars that were riding by. So we created a little moving car for them and showed how that would affect the water and the drainage through the pipes and everything like that. So I think it just came out really, really nice. And it's just a great way to use PowerPoint to work for you. And the last thing I wanted to be able to highlight was this graphic. And this is great. They wanted to be able to show all of the revisions that occurred within the contract. And we suggested, having them come out sort of like a deck of cards being thrown out on the screen. And then you can also point in one corner to the other. It was a very short period of time that these revisions occurred, and you can see the revisions all unfolding at the bottom with the timeline in red. And again, it just kind of impresses upon the viewer or the trier of fact what exactly you were dealing with. And these are just some examples of things you can do within PowerPoint that I think a lot of people don't even think about, and ways in which we can assist you in improving your PowerPoint presentation or creating a presentation for you. So thank you very much.